All right, everyone. So I'm officially back from where I was before, which I was out of town for a few days and had to power off every single one of my radios, which was very annoying. But I'm back, as you can tell, and they're all back in service, which is very nice. Got to get ready for the weekly tomorrow. But I'm going to go over a few of my new additions since my last collection vid. I'm not going to go over everything because I already done that twice, but I'm going to go over a couple new radios I've added to my list. We're going to start over here. It's only about 3 of them, so it shouldn't take too long. And that one is the KSN Weather Lab engraved version 2. Now, I saw this listing on eBay. It wasn't that long ago, about a week and a half. I saw it on eBay and I was like, that's rare to come across, especially an engraved version 2. So yes, this is my third WR100 version 2 that I have in my collection. This one's quite special because it has the KSN Weather Lab logo on it. So it's a very rare listing. I hadn't seen an engraved version 2 in a really long time, so it's a really cool addition. Condition's fantastic. The price was very good. It was only about 30 bucks. I'll take that. $30 with shipping. Also, the speaker sounds great.
Partly sunny with a temperature of 72 and shall be 70.
Monitoring KHC27. All of my WR100s monitor KHC27. They activate better on KHC27, but this is the 4th WR100 I have with the statement lights, so that's interesting. Quite a few collectors do have this. Antonio, I think Savage also has an engraved V2. He may or may not. I know Antonio does. So it's a cool radio. It's fantastic. Getting another version 2. Didn't really think I was going to be able to get one, but I managed it. So that's pretty cool. And I mentioned it earlier, but the Jensen JP725. This one I got. It was earlier in the month. It's a cool radio as far as I'm concerned, that with the LED. It's 1050 hertz activated, which is nice. So that's cool. And it lights up like a Christmas tree when an alert is issued. So I like the siren as well. Yoshi Fan has this radio as well. It's a very cool radio. Here we have my version 8. I already went over it in the last vid, but it is a newer addition to my collection since April. So, again, classic sounding button beeps, very bright backlight. The one issue I have with it's the menu lag. Besides that, the reception's absolutely amazing, and it does the job, basically. Over here on my table, which you see an HH54VP up here, this actually is my original version 16. I got a high-pitched version 16 from Antonio. I decided to move that to my table here. This is the high-pitched HH54VP. So this is an ultra rare radio apparently. It's 3-star rarity, but Antonio had an extra HH he wanted to sell, and he sold a V16 high-pitched. And you can tell by the button beeps. Like, that definitely sounds different and in the siren test. So high-pitched, it sounds amazing. As far as I'm concerned, that thing should serve me well, but I decided to move it to my table instead of having it just up there on the shelf, just so it gets more, I guess, vid action, because I'm going to be recording this table more than anything else, so I think it deserves to be on there. So it's a very rare radio. That completes the trinity of HHs. So I have a V15, a normal V16, which is right here. You can tell lower pitched beeps. So it's pretty cool. If you can find an early V16, the serial number is going to be 1108 if you can find a high pitched. The other ones like V15s are a bit lower in the serial number, so if you can find one, grab it immediately because they're very rare. So that one. And over here we have my 993, which I went over in the last video as well, but it is a newer addition. Montgomery County EAS he bought one a day, literally 24 hours before I saw this listing. This one I got for $30, $29 pretty much for a 993, which is hard to find a 993 with, you know, as rare it is, it's hard to find a 993 for that price. And I honestly don't think they should be rare, to be honest. They used to not be rare, but now they are. So it's an awesome radio. I love the features of it. I took it with me when I was out of town, along with my version 2 here. I took my original V2 and I took this guy out of town. I DX'd a few alerts from Tuesday. And it's sad that I missed that event here, because that would have been 60 radios that would have been able to capture an SVA, an expansion of the same SVA, along with 7 SVRs. But I DX'd a few stations like WNG 538, KJY 85, WXK47 also was on channel 7. That one I could pick up from where I was as well, along with WNG 588 and WXL 42 on channel 1. Although I couldn't really pick it up because of where I was, but I could pick up most of the stations up there and a few different ones, so that was cool. So it was a cool adventure. But yeah, the 993, the reception's fantastic. I highly recommend, if you find a 993, to get one. There was a listing on eBay. It might still be up, but that thing's not going to last, of a 993 going for $50. So it is a little bit expensive, but hey, you know, pick one up. I'm very lucky to have one, so if you can get the listing, you know, grab it. Also, my Bearcat is bat low. Over here, I went over it again in the last collection vid, but it's my 12-26103 edition. I have two other 261s, both are 04s. This is an 03 as the statement light. The one, I was scouring for one of these for months. One Pop Antonio sent me the link to one on Macari, and I got it. So the one thing I like about the 03 261 is the test beep. That is one of the coolest features on the older 261s, is the test beep. So it has the same normal functions as a normal 261, except it was made in 03, and has the test beeps, the statement light. So that's all about that. All right, my final, most recent edition, which I literally just got a few minutes ago, is the Radio Shack 12-258. And this is pretty rare. It's 2.5 star rarity according to the Guru's chart of rare radios. This, again, is a Radio Shack that not a lot of people think of. When they think of Radio Shack, everyone thinks of this guy. Everyone thinks of the 262. When you say Radio Shack, weather radio, people think 262. This is not a radio that a lot of people think about. Now, the listings do come up. So if you can get one for a reasonable price, this one was $30 plus shipping, so it was less than $40. So it was a relatively decent price, and the condition was fantastic. Now, it didn't come with an adapter, but I already had one. So the interesting part about this radio is it has the same dagnap siren as a Recon. Listen to this. Doesn't that sound familiar with the Recon? And the WR30 and the 74210 have the same stupid siren. So it's like, who's ripping off who? Is Recon ripping off Radio Shack? Or is Midland ripping off both of them? They're not really ripping each other off. But the fact that those two have the same siren as that, and then Radio Shack implements the same siren there, I don't understand. But that's just whatever. I mean, it literally is a Recon siren. So I ain't gonna complain much about that, but it's just kind of. And look at the sound of the beeps. You know what that sounds like? Similar to that. Not exactly, but it's like Radio Shack and Midland like implemented different features from each other. It's weird. But this radio is it's decently rare. The quality is pretty good. I don't know if it's going to activate. I hope it does tomorrow. Activate for the weekly. But I decided to put it on my wall because I have zero space. But
Chance of showers. Lows in the mid-50s. Sunday, mostly sunny. A chance of showers.
another thing about these radios, well, besides all the features that they have, you know, great features. So it's a great collector's item for sure. It's a reliable radio. These things usually activate most of the time, as far as I've seen. I've watched reviews on it. So, it does the job, as long as, you get an alert. But, it's pretty unique, I guess, overall. The one thing about these radios that some people have issues with, it's not the tuner, it's the speaker. Just like the Accurites, the speaker can die. The speakers can die. These also can have bad speakers as well. So far, so good. The speaker in this guy is pretty good right now. So that's basically all the new additions that I had. Some more recent additions were the Radio Shack Pro 405, and then over here, another Radio Shack Pro 136, which has unit tones. It's a scanner, along with the 093 and the 12-260. Those would be it. So that's basically all the new additions. I do have another radio coming in, and it's an Oregon Scientific that I got from, let's see, the model. I don't remember the model number at the top of my head. It's not a very common Oregon Scientific. That's all I know. I got another radio coming on the way from Antonio. It's a interesting desktop radio that it's not a lot of people have it. Or I don't even see the listings. I think the last listing was like a couple years ago, I guess. But that'll basically conclude this collection. Now, you're probably wondering, how many radios do you have? Really, you don't need this. You don't need 69 radios, which is what I have in service right now. You don't need 60. You only need about 1 or 2 to get the job done if you need a radio. Weather radio is very essential. I can't tell it enough. To have a weather radio to alert you of any dangerous thunderstorms, tornadoes, hurricanes, blizzards, whatever. Weather radios, every single household needs one. So, without weather radios, life would be troublesome. Very troublesome. But this is just for collection. It's a hobby. It's something I've gotten into. I really enjoy it. It's another thing that keeps my mind going. It is a bit. Some of them can get expensive, but I've been much better at buying them for reasonable prices. But I'm gonna have 70 in service. I didn't think I was gonna buy this many, but yeah, I'm gonna have 70 NWRs in service when that Oregon Scientific comes. So that's all I'll basically have for today. I hope we can get some alerts around here. Same with Yoshi Fan. I hope he can get some alerts, because this season, it's been slow. It's been slow for me capturing storms. It's been slow for me capturing alerts. So the weekly tomorrow will be cool. So that's all I have for today. If I get another radio, when I do, I'm going to make another video about it. But that's all I got for today. So hope you all enjoyed, and see you in the next one.